Podcast on the rise, feel the beat in your chest. Raw and unplugged, only truth, nothing less. Raw and Unplugged podcast. Welcome to the show.
Right.
What up, y'all? It's another episode of the Raw and Unplugged. I am your host, DJ Rossfire.
And I am Neil the Real Deal.
I'm Meg from Dating Tips by Meg and also the Did Me Dirty podcast.
Did me dirty, man. We have an exciting show. First of all, Meg, how's it going? I see you have a newsletter out on social media that I saw everywhere.
Oh, nice. I'm glad you saw it. I guess people are seeing it. I posted kind of a weird hour that day. But yes, we're talking about boundaries this month. So I'm glad to see it. What do you think?
I read like half of it because I was getting like, is she talking about me? No, you can't talk about me.
I think everyone says that. Did you talk about me? No.
I know she's talking about Neil. Like,
I don't know. Well, she lived out here, then she's like, boundaries, Neil, would you stop peeking through the window?
oh,
Hey, just come
It's
in.
just a line.
Say hi.
Yeah. Well, just put the electric fence up there. You know, I'm kidding. Here's Zaploff.
that's not part of the newsletter, man.
Yeah.
So,
yeah, in tiny print, it's that little tiny part at the end. Yeah.
so can you tell me all about your newsletter? Like, what are the pain points, the pinpoints, and the bulletin points?
Okay, well, do you want me to show it so that people know what we're talking about, and then I can explain it for you?
All
right.
That sounds good.
All right, well, let's see if we can find it here. Perfect.
Yeah.
Shoot. That's not what I want to speak. I'm sorry, it didn't come right up. Let's try it.
It's all Neil's
right.
Facebook picture.
Let me try one last thing. But before I do this, you guys are silly tonight. Whoa, my goodness.
You see, that's why that boundary, like, in case Neil lives in Colorado, here's his picture.
I'm gonna ask Neil those questions now.
Okay. Did it come up now? Hopefully.
Yes.
Do you guys say? Okay, perfect. All right. So this newsletter every month comes out, and usually it's about surrounding the awareness month. This month's mental health, and so I have a little bit to say about mental health, but mostly I do some off topics like boundaries, and the boundaries one, everyone always thinks it's about like, oh, it's people are gonna think they're getting punished for something, or oh, I can't tell someone that. And it's really, I try to make it really simple. Like, it's just saying how you feel, like what you don't want to feel and how you feel about certain situations. So it's a personal thing. Someone else can't make your boundary for you. Like, you have to decide. It's totally up to you what your boundaries are. But there's lots of boundaries that a lot of people are crossing and thinking it's normal. And people don't think that they can say, it's, you can't do this, or this is not make me comfortable when you do this kind of thing. So they're just like boundaries for physical boundaries, like, oh, I don't kiss on the first date, or hey, I don't do this, things about physical touch, and then emotional ones. I mean, for me, emotionally, like, I don't like to fight with people who yell. When you yell, I shut down. Like, we're not going to get anywhere. So emotionally, like, that doesn't work for me. Digitally, your phone. I think like we could talk about this one in depth as far as people thinking they have to share their phone with their partner, or the partner needs to see everything on their phone. Like, I'm not comfortable with that. Or your social media, like needing your passwords. There's some boundaries there. Your time, how much time you have in the day. If someone's texting you constantly, it's going out of hand. Like, oh, I can only text you after 9 p.m. or whatever. Those are different things about time. And then your possessions and money. And I think sometimes we talk about that more like siblings, because these aren't just about romantic relationships. These are also about other relationships. And so, like, I'll say, okay, well, my sister, you're not allowed in my room, and you're not allowed to borrow stuff without asking, to that effect. And I would just say, I really need you to ask before, because that, it makes me feel violated when you're not. You explain so That's the other thing about boundaries. You need to communicate them. So you have something in your head that you're like not comfortable with. Someone does something, and you're like, oh, I don't want that to happen again. That's kind of like your instinct to say, oh, there's a boundary there. There's something I need to set, and communicate it. Because the most people, we all have the boundaries in our head, and we know when someone crosses them, but we don't often communicate that with someone else. We just get uncomfortable and kind of suck it up, or disappear because you're like, oh, I can't handle this anymore. But no one ever really knows like what made you uncomfortable. Maybe they do, but you need to communicate them. So anyway, in
Should
a
a
nutshell,
per
that's it.
should a person let it happen for a second to see if it happens again, and then they speak out, or should a person always speak out right away and say, hey, boundaries, hey,
Yeah.
whatever reason, or should they just be patient and then express themselves, or say it right there and then?
Well, my recommendation is if you're like getting in a relationship with somebody, if you're getting into a relationship with someone, so you're not a stranger, communicating those like when you're getting to know each other, and you don't have to sit down and have like a list and say, okay, here's all my boundaries. It's a casual conversation. It can be little things at one time, but it's easier to do it before something happens, so you don't something doesn't happen that maybe it's traumatizing, and if there's something physical, it could be really traumatizing if it happened, and you're like, oh my gosh, I really don't like that to happen, but you didn't communicate it, and so the person doesn't know, and they think it's okay. Like PDA in public, do people do it? Are you comfortable with that in public? And someone kisses you like right in the middle of the street, and you're like, oh my gosh, like that. I hate. Inside you're like screaming. I wish that wouldn't have happened. But if maybe you talked about it in the beginning, then that person knows you have that, that feeling. So once it happened, if something you haven't discussed or it hasn't come up and it does happen, it's good to talk about it right away. Like unless you can't say it civilly. I mean, you want to have this conversation kind of casually, not so much like assaulting somebody with your boundaries, but something's happening like, hey, and the word no is always a consent thing. So if it's a physical thing, and you're just like, hey, this I'm not comfortable with this, or I think we need to talk about this before this happens. That kind of thing. I
I
think
think
most. Go ahead.
I believe sometimes girls don't say it right away. Either they're not strong enough to say in the beginning until it moves to a different level of, hey, I'm not cool with this. I don't want to do this. Cause I be going to Vegas sometimes, and we hang out with them in our rooms, and I see guys push over their boundaries, and girls just be playing along like, oh, hey, let's go to the bathroom. I got a surprise for you. And then you go to the bathroom. That's when she has to really say, no, no, no. I don't want to see that surprise. I don't like surprises.
Right.
But sometimes girls don't say it until it goes too
Well,
far.
I think most people's view, like when we talk about boundaries, is it like a negative thing, and they don't have to be. But yeah, I mean, definitely when it comes to physical things, you kind of you don't want something bad and physical to happen to you that you don't want to have happen, because then it's kind of an assault, depending on what the level is. So, um, yeah, but it can at the beginning be uncomfortable setting boundaries or saying something, out loud to somebody that you like, because you're like, oh, I don't want to turn them away, but at the same time, like I've been really upfront with someone, I'm not. We're not going to go home together, like in a bar, like to someone. It sounds like, just so you know, like I'll never go home with you after this meeting tonight. Just like if you're like gonna play this hard tonight, it's just not gonna happen. And they're like, oh, what? I'm like, yeah, we're gonna have like lunch, outside this room. It's not dark and, smoky kind of thing, and like get to know each other. I'm not just gonna go home with somebody. And so like I'm giving it right up front, and that like my friend was like, wow, I can't believe you just said that. And I'm like, well, he's thinking this is gonna happen, and he's gonna keep trying all night long, and then he's gonna be all pissed at the end of the night because I'm like, nope. So, for me it
Shoot,
was easy.
he be pissed
Yeah,
in the beginning, like, oh,
but I'm like,
shoulder salad.
gosh, she's not gonna eat that. But yeah, like if you're going out to dinner, that's a different thing. But you meet someone in a bar, I'm like, yeah, I don't know who you are. You're gonna try to murder me tonight. I'm gonna need to get to know you in the daylight before that happens.
Yeah, buy your own drink.
Drinks back I bought. That drink I bought you, those 2 drinks, you think you can slide them back to me? I bet.
Yeah.
Look, that's Bill now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Raising his head, he's like, damn. But that's
Yeah.
good. I mean, it's good to a person will say that. It doesn't even have to be a woman. A majority of times will be, but it's good a person will at least put those put that out there because they can't, the guy can't say, well, you turned me on and you made it seem like we had a chance. But like, no, I said that shit right in the beginning, you know?
Right. Well, because the other thing with boundaries is like if you set a boundary and you're gonna say, okay, say it's the texting thing. Like someone's texting you a lot and you're like, okay, I can't do texting all day long. I have to work.
Right.
Like, oh, I can only text like after 6 o'clock at night, after I get home and I get chill, then I can text, for a couple hours. I can't text after midnight, whatever the boundary is. And then someone continues to do it, then you have to one say, hey, like we talked about this, and if they still don't respect it, then you like a small thing, especially you don't want to ignore that someone will cross your boundaries after you set them. And so if someone does that, if it's a small thing, they will likely push back a big thing as well. So you say you don't want to text after a
Right.
certain time, then they do that over and over, and they
Yeah.
don't seem to respect you. They're going to do the same thing with any boundary you set. If they don't like it, they're just going to be like, well, I'll just do what I want to do. And then you should be like, oh, that person's not for me. Like I don't want to be with someone who's not going to respect what I've said.
Right.
Not,
Right. Another one is people coming over without calling, you know?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
That's my number one. It's like, wait a minute, I just told you like 10 times, stop doing this. You get me?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's my number one pet peeve. You know, bringing food over, thinking I'm gonna go against the rules. Like, no. You and those McNuggets take a hike because I didn't call. You know?
Eat the nuggets. Go ahead. Yeah. I think it's true. Like your personal space. Like you respect it. You want the warning, right?
Right.
Or you told. Yeah. I mean,
Now
so how to
I
make you
got
feel like when a certain
Hmm?
now
did
my
you say something?
no I did I have a question. What if I want to go and meet you at a bar, right? And you have those boundaries. What are some subtle ways to let that person know, or myself, or anybody that wants to go and holler at you, and you want to, tell them like your boundaries, but not saying it. So, what are some subtle ways you can do it?
Not say anything?
Yeah, like what are some
Well,
subtle ways?
this comes to like one of the things that I can tell you that I say a lot in my thing. I always ask people like, is there any mind readers here? And then like, sometimes people will raise their hand. I'm like, wow, okay, awesome. Congratulations, because the rest of us aren't. So you're gonna have to communicate these things. Anything besides that is really hard for the other person to judge. It's not fair to the other person. Like to have about I mean, I could be like, I could say stuff like, well, yeah, like the last guy I went out with, he was really upset when I didn't go home with him the first night, but you know, that's just the way I am. I mean, that's probably the most subtle I could be without like about that particular one. Um, but otherwise, you kind of need to be straightforward because it needs to be simple and something that someone can't perceive differently. Like they can't interpret it differently. It's like, I'm not going home with you tonight. And then you're like, so if he's like, well, if you will, we had 4 drinks, so now you're gonna. I'm like, no, I think I said in the beginning it's still 4 drinks. I don't know what you're thinking, but I was pretty clear. Yeah, I'm definitely an outspoken person, and I've learned from not saying things how badly you can get hurt by not saying certain things. So I say things out loud, and people are like, whoa, okay, that's like at the end of the first
You,
date, I'm not into you, so like,
you should
bye, don't call me.
do it like this before you take a shot. I ain't sleeping with you tonight, and then take the shot.
Yeah,
He already bought the shot.
but yeah, 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 it's down my nose, down to the drain now. I don't trick people on it, but I'm like, I'm pretty upfront. I'm getting to know somebody like online. It's just like, yeah, I like to move things slow. Like I've been in bad relationships, and like I'm not really a quick move. Like if you're just looking for a hookup, it's I think you're
He goes spit
I
up the
think you're
shot.
no, but yeah, yeah. So yeah,
What? You're not sleeping with me tonight.
you, yeah, but like Brian, what do you have? Like, what would be something that you're like, okay, like in a relationship, the next relationship I have, I'm not. A lot of us learn our boundaries from the last relationship or the one, some of the ones before it. You learned like, I'm not doing that again. With something you would like, say, I'm not gonna do that again.
Oh, with a girlfriend
With dating, yeah, like if this
or
girl
dating.
had this, or like she does this, I'm not. I'm not gonna continue with the relationship.
If she asks me to buy her a lot of things, like it's consistently, hey daddy, hey Ryan, babe, buy me this, buy me that, and it keeps going and going. Cause I dated a girl, and she always called me daddy, daddy, buy me this, buy me that. I always bought it for her, and like I feel like I get nothing in return, but just some sexual favors, of course, but it wasn't enough. And all I keep hearing is, "Hey, there's some new Jordans coming out in my size. Come pick me up and let's go buy it." Like, yo, hold on, man. We got to move on.
Wow.
Like, my bank account ain't matching up to this relationship. So,
He's not happy. Well, yeah. So, like, I mean, what could you say to someone that coming into it? Like, I'm like, oh, like tonight, I was like, "Well, birthday presents, like, expensive little boxes. No, like, what would you tell me? Like, what could you say?
Are you asking me or Neil?
I'm asking you.
You,
Yeah, you have.
you the one who was daddy. Shit.
You're the dad.
uh,
You have to those rules down. No.
all right, let's go move on. Let's go see. No, I'm kidding.
That's a good question. Go ahead and answer it.
I'll revise the question again because that's the whole daddy part. That's got me.
All right. So you got to get the girl. You know, she's like, you're getting a relationship, and the first thing she does is talks about going shopping. Like, hey, you should take me shopping. Like, so it's a trigger for you. What are you gonna say to her? What
What am
can
I
you
gonna?
say subtly or straightforwardly?
Oh, I'm a tell her like straight up. Like, look, I didn't get into this relationship just to buy you stuff. You ain't buy me anything, so I don't want this relationship to be based off material things. So, if you're not with it, I'm not with it either. I'm here for connection, emotional connection, and your companionship. I'm not here just to buy you things and you buy me things. It doesn't. I don't want it to be involved with that. So I'm good.
There you go. So yeah, I mean,
Well
I don't
said.
think that she's gonna think she's not gonna say like, "Oh, are you gonna still buy me this?" She's not gonna say it because she's like, "Wow, okay, he said it straight here." I mean,
I'll just show her my bank account. Here,
I
look
would,
at my bank account.
I'll beat you. Here's 53 cents. That's what I got. Yeah, no.
Mm.
Uh,
Oh, she gonna dump me right
I mean,
away.
if something that happens to you, then you could obviously say, "I just don't. I'm not gonna do it again." And some girl come over even when she has food with her. Neil's like, I don't really care. I don't want that to be happening. So it's a good place to start. Like you're like the deal breaker one. Like I'm not doing that for sure.
How about you, Neil?
You're
Has it
not gonna
happened
say
to
no.
you before?
No. Because I'm in the beginning phases and you see it, and I'm not saying like you, nobody, when it does happen to a person, I'm not saying I'm perfect with any logical reason, but I'm just saying like once I see that kind of red flag, and maybe I would have bought somebody 2 things, but once it's a routine, my favorite word I had to really, really develop was the word no. You get me?
Good.
It took me a while to learn the word no, but once I got that into that transition, because there's another reason is a lot of people are afraid to lose that person. Maybe that person
Yeah.
is really
Exactly.
hot. Maybe that
Exactly.
person is well off. Whatever the reason, a lot of people are afraid to lose the person, so they go more out than having an even exchange, whatever it may be. Because even when you want to exchange, it becomes a verge of prostitution in a way because it's like, wait, I'm buying all this, but you ain't putting it out. Now it's no longer a team. It's not because that she's getting or he's getting what he wanted. She or he's getting nothing, and they're expecting. Nobody should be expecting. It should be once you're dating, that it should be an even plateau. Once you got to explain to somebody, about buying stuff and saying no and losing the person. Your person has to ask, is that person worth keeping? You know?
Yeah. It's it's any of the boundaries, like really, but it's like boundaries lead right into red flags. Like a lot of red flags, people are like, will set the boundary. Like, oh, I don't mind someone checking my phone. Wow. Okay. So that person may not have the boundary. It may be something that's on the list, but not everyone has the same boundaries. Like Ryan has something different than Neil. I have something different than you both. Like it's personal. Like what makes you feel and you know how you feel about certain things, and so then that's places you set your boundaries. So
Oh, but that phone thing though, when you're with your significant other, that phone thing is a big problem. You know, when you're laid out in the bed and you just watching Netflix or something, and then your phone rings, you just look at your lady like, and she's ready looking at you. Who is that? Who's that biatch? Like, hold on. It's Calvin. It's Calvin. Yeah, right.
it's
You know what I'm saying?
let me see it. Do you like?
Let me see.
Yeah,
Oh yeah, let me see it.
let
But
me
that's
see. Let
like
me
the
talk to
beginning of
Calvin.
the
If I
Yeah,
ever
let me
hear you
talk
call me
to
Calvin, I'll know.
Calvin.
And
Calvin
you'll
was
call me real quick.
he's in a
Hey
bad
Calvin, what's going on? I'm Calvin.
Yeah, she'll never know. If it's your Calvin dog.
Hey Calvin, with your, my girl wants to listen. Talk to you with your deep voice. Your deep voice. And I'm about to give you to her. And
On speakerphone.
on speakerphone. Remember how I love to talk about nothing but sport? Michael Jordan. Here, dear. Here's speakerphone. Here's Calvin. But when you get to that point, I feel like trust is like gone.
You're
Like
learning
in
so
that,
much,
you,
Neil.
huh?
You're a different level. You know, like you've got that. You got to the next level. You're like, see, this is actually a trust issue, and you're right. It's trust there. Yeah, a lot of these things are. Yeah, the phone thing is a trust thing, but it's also a boundary. Like some people agree to it because they don't care, because they don't have anything on the phone. Like whatever, check it out. I still think it's a violation, but yeah, it's about trust. If someone's like insisting on your phone, it's like
Now,
you either trust me or you don't.
now this is a way that works. Proven facts that works. You buy a burner phone and you bury it somewhere in the backyard in a bag. You just bury, you turn it off, and when you come back, when you come back in the bed, you chill, right? Later on, you go in the backyard, you just open up the bag, turn it on. Hey, Stacy, what are you doing tonight? You know, proven fact. Your phone will never ring.
And
Your main phone will never ring. Just your burner phone buried out in the backyard on a potato chip bag. You just bury it.
you want to be buried in the backyard. If a lot of girls hear this one, they're gonna be like, "What the hell is he doing?" He's tricky. He's a tricky guy.
Yeah, well, it worked.
It's the Ryan DJ's tricky man. I
Yeah, that's back
yeah,
then, man.
I'm
That's
curious.
back.
Sometimes people talk to somebody, but it's never gotten me to where I'm like, show me your phone. I need to see it. Yeah, it leads so much. Yeah, that one's like a headache right there. The whole phone thing. I can't.
But that's
I
what
don't know.
boundaries come in from. Like if you say that, let me see your phone. Let me see your, and then like that's a boundary. Like, wait, you don't trust me? No, I don't. That means let me see your phone. We gotta have, you gotta have that discussion right away. Just I feel like you said in the beginning, the guy at the bar who he bought you 3 drinks and you expecting something to happen. I feel like
Yeah.
when in the beginning is the best time to do it because once Ryan was buying that girl like all of Macy's, all for the whole 3 months, she's not gonna get it. Why all of a sudden he's coming to a stop?
Right, right. Like, what happened? What do you do? What do you? Yeah. And either way, I mean, it doesn't matter when. I mean, at some point, even if you're like, okay, now I'm fed up with this. I want this to stop. You can say it, and then in the future, have it as a boundary if you just don't stay with that person, because you'll know, like, I'm not doing that again. I did not like the way that felt. I'm gonna let someone know that right off the bat. Yeah.
Well, there's another boundary that I really don't like. When your significant other is on the phone with the opposite sex and you're just laughing, you're so funny. Your face is like, piss you off. Don't it piss you off? Hey, get off the damn phone. Hey, it's my
So that
student,
that's a
it's my classmate. Oh yeah,
poor Ryan. Yeah,
damn your
yeah,
classmate.
yeah.
It's my lady, dog. You
And
can
you
study
just
by yourself.
Yeah, I think you guys mess
oh,
up chicks. Yeah, it's
You
not
ain't gonna study
but
hard
yeah.
here.
that's funny.
Yeah, just piss you off. And she knows it too. She knows it too. It happened to me before. It's crazy, man. And she always acts like she's innocent. It's like, oh, he's just my classmate. Don't worry, he's cool. Does he have a lady? No, he's single, but he's cool. He's my friend. Like, ain't no such thing as friends. Am I right?
Yeah. No, I think it is. I've had like a few girls just friends and nothing more, and it's never like ignited. But if the person I was dating didn't want it anymore, of course I'd be like, disappointed, but that's her boundaries. So I would like say, okay, fine, you get me, but it's not all the time. I would say at least what 80% that is something can happen, but the rest I don't think it's all the time.
No, I trip.
What
I
about
trip.
you, man?
I trip.
You're talking about like someone talking to the opposite sex and laughing and having fun.
Well,
Yeah, having fun, like
something
flirting
can
and stuff.
happen.
hmm
That it can't. It can't happen to be. That you can be just friends. Oh, I have. Well, it's a different world, but I do have a lot of guy friends, and they're not. But I don't talk to them a lot. I would say like it would be like an anonymous, like oh hey, I'm talking. I mean, I don't know. I do. I'm like I think people always say, oh, you're a little flirty, and I'm like I wasn't flirting. You're like you're laughing. Well, oh my god, I didn't say let's have sex. Like I just said like I was laughing at something. Like I didn't say that.
Ooh,
You have to be like
ooh, I'm gonna try to make you laugh
just
so
laugh at
hard.
things. Like so. I don't know. That's more because you're like if someone's consistently calling, it's really hard.
Can you do that again? Can you do that again?
You go. I want to have sex with you. I did say that on the phone. So I'm like, I do have conversations where I don't laugh like that and say that out loud, and then there's still like it's just still like a friendship, but or it's a
If I make
classmate,
you,
or it really is someone else. I think if it's a consistent person they're talking to, it would be a problem. If it's like it happens one time and it's like, oh, she does have a college class, I'd have to like give her the benefit of the doubt. But if it
if I
happens all the
made
time,
if I made you laugh and you said that, I'd be like, that's what I'll do.
I don't like that one. Yeah. So yeah. So if your girl, like, if you're dating someone right now, she's watching our podcast. She's like, oh, now I know how to trigger him right off the bat. So
Oh,
she's learning now. So yeah,
Th-
I think I have a handful of guys that I talk to, and not all the time. But if I was dating someone, I would try not to be flaunting that in front of them. It wouldn't be a secret thing, but I would. I know it bothers anybody who someone's talking to someone of the opposite sex and they look like they're having fun, especially if you're not having fun in your relationship right at the moment. You're like, oh well, you're having fun with that person, you know.
yeah,
Right.
true.
True.
So
True.
timing could be all of it. Like you're totally in love with someone, you're like, oh, they're laughing, that's fine. They're just a happy person. If you're having a shitty relationship and then like they're like laughing it up and their eyes are getting all laughing and giggling too, it's like, what? Like, hello,
But
you couldn't say it was nice to me. You couldn't say good morning to me, but now you're like all over the phone with this person. So yeah.
like, Meg, we need to talk. What's this? What's all that? What's all that, huh? Girl, we need to go
That's
in
all
the
that.
car. Go in the car.
That's like a speakerphone. I'm just doing this all the time. Like, what is that?
Get your ass in the car.
Get out of the car. Get off the phone. It's Tom. You're grounded.
I had enough of this shit. Leroy is out of here. Okay. Then a lot of them try to reverse it. What is wrong with you? This morning he was in a bad mood, and I knew it was going to transfer here. Leroy is a nice Christian man. Okay. You kissed his neck because I thought it was
Oh.
your neck. It was dark.
Wow, that's
Mistaken
drama.
identity.
That's
Yeah,
so much
well.
drama, man. That's so much drama.